What's up, card fighters? Welcome to another deck profile. Something a little different this time. We're going to take a look at all the different decks that you get support for in set 2. First of all, we'll take a look at the newest one, Lial, the faded one of time. So we got a second faded one for our nation, so can't complain that we're not the faded nation, I suppose. So the game plan for Lial is kind of straightforward. You want to sort of time leap your units, binding them, therefore getting the new ones out of your deck, filtering your deck, and giving you more chances to check triggers. Her Divine skill lets you re-ride herself from the drop zone if your opponent's grade 3, so giving you an extra Vanguard swing at the cost of losing a drive. Then again, she also has that skill that you can put 2 cards from your binds into the bottom of the deck and call her as a perfect card basically. So that means she can be used in other faded one decks, which is Resile. Here's the deck list that I came up with for the moment. It's what I've been testing at online, and we are running the Lial ride line for herself, meaning you can send back some of your normal units that you have. This gets into your game plan more. You are of course running her support pieces where possible. You get the booster, you get her dedicated grade 2 from the set, giving you more options in the late game. And of course, from the Keter pile, we are playing the Sages, giving you more soul, which you dearly need, and top deck checking. He's also pretty good as a tanky shield when needed. Up next, we have the second wave of support for Resile, the Faded One of Miracles. The main card that's been added, in my opinion, is Knight of Bowstreaks Nibiris. So he's the new triple rare grade 2 for Resile. Basically, when he gets called out by the ability of Resile, he gains plus 10k. Of course, your opponent has to be grade 3, and you win some, you lose some. But after he's attacked, you can Energy Blast 3, put him into Soul, and then you can draw a card and check the top card of your deck. So you can see if it's a trigger or not, put it up to top or bottom. Meaning now, beyond Sages, you also have this card to let you check your card defensively or offensively, whichever one you prefer, but honestly you're going to see this one as a defensive measure, which is actually pretty good. Beyond that, we're still running the Keter pile, so Biscotti, because now we only have one other thing that costs energy, so you'll always have plenty of it in the early game. We're running the Tatefall, we're running the Wisdom Order, we're running Surgan because Surgan is just crazy with Resile. We're still running Sages, but if you want to run Lial to counter Blankmire, you definitely could cut out the Sages, as you can see in the list. You could cut out the Forbital for either the ladder or the extra, the Gracious Gridale, and then change up your deck that way. Alternatively, if you don't want to use a Regardless piece, you could run 1 copy of Nobia, which is also a pretty good option. So Ryan got support. Who remembers the Pope of Cope? I'm gonna get straight into the list because, to be honest, it's kind of crazy. We are not running the Surround line. We are running the Alden ride line. The Surround ride line doesn't synergize with your game plan, causes soul issues, and we tend to avoid those by using the Alden ride line. Your most important card is the new one, Academic of Endeavor. He allows you to build a field and stack your deck, which means that you can use Surround's skill more smoothly. The new grade 2, I believe his name is Academic of Anatomization Lecturers. Since you can set up your front row, freeing it up, it countercharges you, and if he came from a deck, Ethel calls him out, barking his skill, then you can also get an extra draw. Lastly, there's Hearthstang, another new card. So as you can see, we're not running many of the old cards. He's pretty good to get yourself a top deck in a pinch. He also gives you some soul, whichever one you need, and then we supplement the rest of the deck with Keter pile. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you know what you should fix? Sorion, please give us a better Pope of Cope, so he can be the Pope of Dope. If you know that song, apparently you're old. I didn't make the rules. And then, we are apparently not done. Did you know that the quintuplets are in the game now in English? Who knew? Well, here's Yotsuba. This deck plays like bad Gizeh. Angel Gize, to be precise. You just want to stall up the game as much as possible, get as much hand as possible, and then hope you can stall out the game to get your win condition. Her win condition is to have 7 different quints in the memory, which is something you get from the grade 1. It's a little crest. It turns your order zone into the memory zone. If you have 7 different ones in there and 14 in total, you win the game. Wait, didn't Glendios do the win the game thing first? Why are we calling it Gize? Like, because Gize's cooler. Now, well, it's funny. You play Surgown, you play Turnar for your extra resources, but for the rest you want to play as many quints as possible. You do run your ride line at max amounts. You run your starter at max amounts. Honestly, you could swap a bit with the ratios, but honestly you just want to max out on quints as much as possible. And therefore you just hope and you meme. Don't take this to a tournament. Take this to locals if you want to have some fun and mess with your opponents a bit. But I don't think it's a winning deck for sure. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. It's a quick look at everything. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and if this is a new way of presenting decks, we could do some more in the future. Anyway, remember to like and subscribe. Stay radiant. Bye bye.